Target is out with its holiday sales results for November and December. Comparable sales grew 5.7%. That compares to last year's holiday sales, comp sales of 3.4% growth. For digital, those are up 29% for the holiday months. Stores, a very key part of Target's holiday strategy. In fact, stores fulfilled 75% of online orders through ship from store, order pickup, and drive up, with order pickup and drive up actually growing 60% year over year. Target says all 5 core categories posted growth with market share gains. The strongest performance by category in toys, baby, and seasonal gifts. Now, Target is maintaining its full year guidance. As a reminder, that was for comp sales growth of 5% and adjusted earnings of $5.30 to $5.50. There is a calendar adjustment that happens in January that may account for some of that difference for maintaining the 5% comp when you have this 5.7% holiday comp growth. Separately, there are some leadership changes as well that Target is announcing, including CFO Kathy Smith's retirement. However, she's going to stay on with Target until her successor is named, and then after that point, will transition to a leadership, or will transition to an advisory role, I should say. I spoke with Target very briefly and asked if they had any updates about the state of the consumer. And they said, look, we're going to get more into that when we do our full earnings release March 5th. But you don't see these kind of results with a consumer that isn't feeling good. Back over to you.
Hey, Courtney, it's interesting just watching how Target is kind of changing how they report some of these numbers and focusing so much more on the total, including digital. That's obvious. They're doing that because digital is such a bigger part of their strategy at this point. I know the same store sales for the stores were up 3.3%. Do you know how that compares with what the street was expecting? Because the street has yet to, I think, catch up with the new reporting for some of these companies that are really focusing so much more on digital.
Exactly. And what also makes it hard to compare it to analyst estimates, Becky, is that we're only looking here at November and December. And most of the analysts are going to model for the full quarter. So that's going to include the full month of January. So we don't really have a super reliable comparison for just that holiday quarter, which is why I think Target gives us what they did last year. I know it's not the same thing as an analyst comparison, but at least it sort of gives you a trend. And last year, the holiday quarter for Target for the comps grew 3.4%. And another point, if I could make, about why they're sort of doing what they're doing and combining all of these numbers is because of what we mentioned with the stores fulfilling so much of those digital orders. Right. I mean, basically, if the stores fulfilled 75% of those digital orders, that means the distribution centers were only used for a quarter of what was ordered online during those 2 months, which is pretty interesting when you think about how we talk about this tussle between online and store.